Good Sunday morning. I'm Karen Lee. Our top stories right now: a hold on the ICE deportations that were supposed to begin today, what the president's plan of action is now. And we're learning more about the teenage victim in yesterday's deadly crash on the Garden State Parkway. But our lead story this morning: a beloved police officer and soccer star battling stage 4 cancer has died. In her few short years serving with the Piscataway Police Department, Officer Julia Caceres left an indelible impression. News 12 New Jersey's Jim Murdoch is joining us now and following that story for us. Jim.
In her 28 years, Julia Caceres went from soccer star to one of Middlesex County's finest, serving on the Piscataway Township Police Department. She died Friday after a 14-month-long battle with stage 4 lung cancer. Before taking the oath to protect and serve, Julia Caceres left her mark on the soccer field, becoming one of the all-time greats from New Jersey. The New Jersey City University graduate, Union native and Clinton resident, scored 100 goals between her time at NJCU and her freshman year at Rutgers Newark.
All of the other reindeers used to laugh and call him names.
Last December, just 8 months into her diagnosis and less than 3 years on the force, members of the Piscataway Police Department gathered on a cold, wintry night, brightening Julia's spirits with an impromptu Christmas carol session outside of her home. On Friday, cancer claimed her life at just 28 years old. The Piscataway Police Department paying tribute to Julia, writing on their Facebook page in part, quote, "In the few short years Julia was with us, she impacted so many. Her beautiful smile and bubbly personality will surely be missed. Rest in peace, sister." Funeral services will be held Wednesday at the Galante Funeral Home in Union, followed by a mass at Holy Spirit Church. Jim Murdoch, News 12, New Jersey.
Just such a sad story. All right, Jim, thank you. A New Jersey community also in mourning after a Navy serviceman died in Afghanistan. 27-year-old Kevin Yali of Midland Park served 4 deployments during his time in the Navy. He was working as a private contractor in Afghanistan when he died. Friends and family are invited to honor the Navy veteran this Wednesday at the Vanderplatt Funeral Home in Franklin Lakes. Well, state police now telling us more this morning about the 15-year-old girl who was killed in the Garden State Parkway crash yesterday. They've identified her as Rachel Upright of New Milford, Pennsylvania. The crash happened just before 5:30 on the northbound side near Brick Township. Troopers say a Ford Explorer entered the shoulder. It struck the back of a parked Hyundai Santa Fe. That then sent the Hyundai into a parked Honda CRV. Police say the teen was inside the Hyundai and died at the scene. A 14-year-old boy who was also in that vehicle has serious injuries. The drivers of the Hyundai and the Honda were outside at the time. They were not hurt. The driver of the Ford had minor injuries. Turning to national news now, President Trump back on Twitter this morning commenting on his decision to hold ICE deportations. The president writes, quote, "I want to give the Democrats every last chance to quickly negotiate simple changes to asylum and loopholes. This will fix the southern border together with the help that Mexico is now giving us. Probably won't happen, but worth a try. 2 weeks and big deportation begins." Now, that comment less than a day after the president delayed the planned ICE raid across the nation, apparently at Democrats' request. Those raids were set for today. The president tweeting that announcement here with the earmark of the imminent raids if Democrats do not cooperate with him, writing, "If not, deportations start." Now, New Jersey was not included in the 10-city raid, but New York was. ICE said to be focusing on as many as 2,000 families with court deportation orders.
Everybody that came into the country illegally will be brought out of the country very legally. Some cities are going to fight it, but if you notice, they're generally high-crime cities. If you look at Chicago, they're fighting it, and you look at other cities, they're fighting it. Many of those cities are high-crime cities, and they're sanctuary cities.
The Associated Press reports the operation was canceled because it was leaked to the media, and there was concern about officer safety. All right, let's turn it over to the weather right now. Meteorologist Justin Gondik joining us on the desk. And What a perfect weekend.
It's gorgeous.
Zero complaints.
Waking up this morning,
Right?
a coolness to the air, low humidity, and we'll keep the low humidity going as we head into the afternoon and beyond, Karen. Really a nice day. Lots of blue sky from our newer camera and not too much wind. The winds are backing off a bit today. We have a northwest breeze coming in around 5 to 10, just enough to make it nice and comfortable. Doing fine, mostly sunny, a little bit warmer today. We'll find our way into about the middle 80s, but with the northwest breeze, we're able to keep the humidity down. We're also able to keep the clouds away. You can see them down over parts of Virginia here. High pressure coincides with that northwest wind, and that has pushed away any chance for rain and most of the cloud cover. Temperatures well up into the 70s now. We'll find our way to about the middle 80s after all said and done. Certainly the happiest face I can dig up here for the moodcast. Stars in our eyes with lots of sunshine. Temperatures in the lower and the middle 80s for daytime highs. Nice evening on the way too. Now the humidity does begin to slowly inch up towards the evening, but not really enough to bother you. I think as we go into Monday, you'll begin to notice that a bit. We have 84 for today. We'll clear the skies out throughout the overnight. It's a little bit muggy, about 65 degrees. And then we'll find our way to about 85 on Monday. A shower or storms possible as we find our way into the second half of your evening. I think these are going to probably hold off until early on Tuesday, but just something worth mentioning. All right, next couple days, yeah, shower or storm possible Monday late in the evening. That's only about a 20% chance, so better shot for seeing more widespread showers and storms as we go into Tuesday, a high of around 84 degrees. And then Wednesday, we start our climb in the middle 80s here, but as we go further out in the extended forecast, we'll find our way towards 90. We'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. Karen, let's send it back to you.
All right, Justin, thank you. Well, an apartment complex in Hightstown was evacuated after a gas leak. Fire officials say a contractor hit a main while trying to fix a sewer. Now, they say the contractor did not get clearance from PSE&G to work near the gas pipes. More than 60 people were affected, but thankfully, no injuries. Police in a quiet Bergen County town need the public's help. They released this surveillance footage, hoping they'll be able to get it. They're looking for information about a series of incidents in Washington Township. 2 cars were stolen there and dozens of others broken into. If you have any information, you're asked to call Washington Township Police. In Cumberland County, a man convicted of killing a young mother of 3 is sentenced to 65 years behind bars. Donald Scurry of Bridgeton must serve 85% of his 55-year murder sentence before he's eligible for parole. The 27-year-old was also sentenced to consecutive 10 years for being a felon in possession of a firearm. Scurry was convicted of killing 24-year-old Celeste Cannon back in 2017. Authorities in Union County are investigating after a deadly shooting in Roselle. It happened Friday around 11 at the Oak Park Apartments. 27-year-old Justin Claiborne of Roselle died. The Union County Crime Stoppers now offering a reward of up to $10,000 for information that leads to an indictment. A reported shooting overnight and Friday in Patterson in the area of East 26th Street and 10th Avenue. When officers got there, they didn't find a victim, but they later found a 21-year-old man who was being treated at a nearby hospital. Authorities are continuing with that investigation. Well, baseball superstar David Ortiz now out of the ICU at a Boston hospital. This comes 2 weeks after he was shot in his native country of the Dominican Republic. Affectionately known as Big Papi, he was shot in the lower back while sitting at a bar patio in Santo Domingo. Authorities say Ortiz was not the intended target. So far, 11 people have been arrested in connection to this shooting. Well, Adam Sandler wowing several kids in Atlantic City this weekend. He's in AC to play at the Hard Rock, but on Friday, he played basketball with some kids. They told Breaking AC a car pulled up and out came Sandler, and he offered a full court game of 5-on-5. He also took some time to take selfies with the starstruck group. Well, could a strike be imminent at Shore Medical Center in South Jersey? Nurses have been picketing there as they negotiate their contracts that expire at the end of the year. At issue are the health benefits and on-duty responsibility. Now, the spokesperson for the hospital tells the Press of Atlantic City they are negotiating in good faith. The union president, though, saying members could vote on whether to strike very soon. We love this next story. A Union County couple says I do just moments before the bride gives birth. Michael and Marie Gallardo of Westfield were days away from their dream wedding, But then her water broke 3 weeks earlier than expected, as you can tell from this image of the beautiful baby boy. Well, this caused a major dilemma. Marie, she didn't want her husband to be listed as fiancé on the birth certificate, so the couple asked the staff at Morristown Medical Center if they could get married at the hospital. So the nurses, well, they sprung into action.
One said, you know what, I'm going to go look online, see if I could become ordained. And then another one said, well, every bride needs a bouquet. So she said, I'll be back. And she actually ran outside the hospital and she picked flowers and she made this beautiful bouquet.
What an awesome team of nurses. Well, Marie rushed into the operating room for a C-section right after the wedding ceremony. And moments later, they welcomed in this guy, their first son, Michael Preston Gallardo. By the way, the newlyweds, they plan to have their dream wedding next year. Congratulations, he's so beautiful. Well, coming up on News 12 New Jersey, do you lie to your kids? Apparently, there's a lot of these little white lies parents tell their children. We'll tell you what they are coming up.